Hello, everyone. I was originally going to do a storyboard video today like I did yesterday. But the time is 1:51. I'm really tired. Had a full day of work today. And I dedicated most of my energy when I arrived home to, greeting my mom and then watching a video about a tetrahedron UFO. So, yeah, and then talking to my sister about the videos I was watching. So as you could imagine, based on that quick rundown, there really wasn't much energy left to expel for storyboarding. So let's just get through the day really quick, shall we? Alright, when I woke up, I was asked by my mom to move my car out of the way so she could drive off to church. But I reached out for my keys where I normally put them, and I didn't find them. So I was like, oh no, where'd they go? So I looked everywhere, I retraced my steps, I was going all over the place, and my mom was trying to help me too. I would look through the drawers, like under the couches, everywhere. Frantic search, couldn't find it. So our family friend just ended up picking up my mom and driving me to church instead while I was looking for the keys. I eventually did find the keys. They were like on the floor, covered by clothes, so that was nice. I'm glad I was able to find my keys today. My sister then woke up and I greeted her. I asked her if she would be interested in watching a new video by Simeon Jimmy where he plays a character called Vincent the Atheist talking about the top 5 most deadly religions. That's the name of the video. So we thought that would be an interesting video to watch. So we made some coffee. I warmed up the final cinnamon roll on the pan and put a little bit of water, covered the top of the pan so that way the water could steam and re-moisturize the cinnamon roll. And yeah, we had like a really long conversation about like aliens before turning on the video. It took forever. It was interesting. It was an interesting conversation. I appreciated it. But I really wanted my like cinnamon roll hot, and it was kind of cold at that time. So yeah, but oh well, what you gonna do? So I had my roll, I had my coffee. My sister had her coffee, and we watched this video. It was very funny. It was basically just the host Vincent talking about how certain religions caused total death numbers to climb, and went through each religion based on the total deaths they caused, which was a really interesting video. I'm not gonna go too deep into it. I think if you're interested in seeing what he has to say, definitely check it out yourself. All I'm gonna say is that me and my sister were laughing a lot at as the video was playing because it was so funny. After that, we paused in the middle of the video. I got some leftover pizza. I asked my sister if she'd want some. She said yes. I heated the pizza. I put it on 2 separate plates. I got a soda. She said she was fine. She'd just drink her coffee. And we continued watching the video while eating that pizza. And we liked it. Eventually, our family friend and mom arrived. We greeted them. They asked us what we were doing. We said we were watching this video of this guy on YouTube talking about the top 5 deadliest religions. And they were like, oh, okay. My mom made a flat pancake for me with butter and syrup. It was pretty good, but because I had the cinnamon roll and the pizza, I was already pretty full, so I only ate like about 1/4 of it before I was too stuffed to eat anymore. I then used the restroom and I decided to talk with Google Gemini about this YouTube channel that was recommended to me a while back called Limitless Potential. And basically, I was trying to explore the validity of the guy who's running the channel's claims, if like he is doing it as like kind of like a snake oil thing where he's tricking a like group of people into thinking like he's genuinely doing groundbreaking research when in reality he's just like, you know, exploiting people's lack of like the laws of thermodynamics and making a quick buck because he's getting, you know, donations to continue working on the project. Or if like he genuinely believes in this and like it started out like as genuine, but then he later realized that what he's trying to do isn't working out, but he already said he would commit to it, so he feels like he has to now. So yeah, it's really, and then like it gave like an analogy of like what he's trying to do. Like think of it like there's bucket A and bucket B. Bucket A is filled with water, and then like it fills bucket B, but some excess water splashes out. And then bucket B rises up, tips over, fills bucket A, and it fills a little bit, and they rise up, but some water splashes out, and they just continue to do this until they're both kind of run out of water due to the water constantly splashing out. And, you know, Google tried to say, oh, he's hoping like a magic rain cloud appears where the, you know, A pours into bucket B, but then also there's like, you know, he's trying to do like 0 point energy where he's like trying to get excess energy from the environment, and it would be the equivalent of having like a rain cloud fill up the water of bucket B as it's being filled by bucket A. So even though there's excess water that's spilling out, that excess is replenished by the environment. Is basically what's going on, to keep the system going perpetually for clean, free, limitless energy, and that's the whole point. It was an interesting way of breaking it down. I really did appreciate it, and it really helped me out. And then that made me think, what about fusion energy? Where does that have its place? So I asked Google, and basically said it's like how normal energy works, where it follows the laws of thermodynamics, but because it releases much more energy than things like gas or oil, it's able to sustain its energy for much longer. So that's why it's able to create what is perceived to be perpetual energy when in reality it's energy that just takes forever to burn out due to the way it works. So I thought, wow, that's really cool. Then I need to get dressed and ready for work. So I did that. I said goodbye to my mom and my sister, a family friend, told them I love them, drove to work. Work consisted of sweeping, produce, break room, store floor, getting water, going on break, getting some sodas on my break, Pepsi Zero Sugar soda bottles. They had a deal where it was $4.99 if you bought two, so I bought two, and I put them in the fridge in the break room so I could have them for later. Turned out to be $12 for both, which basically means like $1 per soda, essentially, because it was like 12 bottles, which, to be fair, is better than the $2.80 they're being sold individually, so I guess that's kind of nice. Yeah, and when I brought him upstairs, I was trying to ask Gemini another question. I forget exactly what it was. Probably something to do with the energy. Questions I had, and then afterwards, it was time to go back to work. Around 5, I had to wipe up a wet mess caused by some melting ice falling through a opening. And then after all of that, I was expected to, well, not I was expected. I decided to take out the trash at 5:30. Normally I do it at 6, but I thought, well, if I get a head start, then I won't have to worry about when I'm like done with works or done with my lunch. So I did the trash, Good thing I did it a half hour early because there was an issue where one of the trashes was spilling a lot of like coffee fluid everywhere. So I had to clean that up so no one would slip and fall, and then I had to put the coffee spilling bag into another bag and then put that in another bag to ensure there'd be no more spills. So it was quite a fiasco. Yeah, I did end up lining up all the trash together, office trash, front end trash, outdoor trash, break room trash, janitor trash, bathroom trashes. And then the backroom trash. So I took everything out, threw it outside in the garbage, brought it up. Time to go for lunch. I decided to get 2 pieces of fried chicken. These were the 2 chicken breasts. They're very crispy, very good. Half a pound of mac and cheese. I really liked that. And then I warmed up the leftover chalupa my sister gave me like 2 days ago. It was all right, but a little too soft for my liking. And when you microwave it, like, it kind of makes it even more softer, which I'm not a huge fan of. I used the Taco Bell hot sauce on the chicken. It was decent, I would say. Personally, I'd prefer something like barbecue or Chick-fil-A sauce for chicken next time, even though it's very fattening. As I was eating, I was watching Ross Coulthart interview a guy about the moon, about how there's like weird reflective objects on the moon, how there's weird light streaks on the moon, how it seems like they're coming from artificial sources, how there's strange structures that aren't being acknowledged by NASA. It was all very interesting. Then after that, I threw away my, food packaging. I washed my my container that I bring with me, and then I dried it, put it away. I went downstairs, punched in, finished my duties by refilling the bags in the front end, bagging for a lot of customers, wiping down all of the check stands. And my coworker, he was really cool. He brought in the carts and the signs and cleared a lot. I actually did need to help him clear a lot earlier in the shift around like 7 o'clock because a lot was all scattered because they gave him the duty of being both a GM as well as a doing a lot. And, that's a lot of different hats to wear at the same time. But, I helped him out, so we were able to get it done pretty easily. He helped me out with all those closing duties, so thank you. Appreciate it. And then me, my, one of my co-closing cashiers and the co-closing manager, and, like, we were talking about, like, COVID and how, like, for some people it was, like, a tough time. For me and for my co-manager, it was actually pretty chill time because we could just chill out and play video games and order food, getting money straight from the government. It was me while looking for work. It was a tough time for a lot of people, and I'm not saying it wasn't, but for me, it was a time of, I guess you could say, deep reflection, but also of, like, calmness as well. I suppose that's something to appreciate about that point in history. Eventually, I punched out. I got my food. Not food, my container. I said goodbye to my co-manager, one of my co-workers. I drove home. Before I left, I got a call from my mom. We chatted on my way home when I arrived. I greeted her. She told me there was food available. She made steak and rice and corn, so I had that. It was really good. as I was eating that, I was watching a video called Mystery Wire with George Knapp. Where do we go from here with the UFO phenomenon? Basically talking about some of the more interesting UAP files that were released in the UAP data dump recently. And that was very interesting. Because he was challenging some skeptics about like the flare video where he says he believes it isn't a flare and that's something genuinely anomalous. I thought that was interesting. Always good to see both sides of the aisle for a situation that doesn't have concrete evidence yet, instead of being so sure one way or the other. Just take the data and remain objective until you have all signs pointing towards a solution. Yeah. After that, I watched this video of like a tetrahedron UFO that was like undulating and changing its sides. Like it looks like a rotating pyramid in the sky. And multiple people filmed it on different angles. Like originally I got caught onto it by this lady or this CGI animation. Looks like an old video game cutscene of showing the events playing out in the in one of the pyramid UFO video experiences. And then after that I saw some extra footage from the Gaia YouTube channel. It was all very interesting. I then stopped watching. I told my sister about it. We had a conversation about the tetrahedron UFOs. I said goodnight to my mom, took my vitamins, brushed my teeth, and here is the video. That's a basic rundown of the day. I think if I were to do draw my life kind of days on my storyboard thing, it would either have to be as soon as I return home from work or on days off when I have enough mental energy to do something like that. Alright, well, that's going to do it for now. I am very sleepy, so I'm going to hit the hay. Bye, everybody, and take care.